Well, working away on this Camaro drag car project. I got some parts in, so I got the race pack sensors in, except for the rear drive shaft speed sensor. I got the wrong one, so I got to get another one. But fuel systems plumbed, headers. I got these. I made these extensions here. Excuse me, to come up through the fenders. So I got those done. That was actually a lot of work getting that to fit just right through the hole in the fender. And then I got the Canton oil accumulator installed, and that just goes out here right into, I don't know if you can see it down there. I'm going to get my light if I can get it to work. There's a T-fitting that goes from the pressure side of the pump into the motor, and then it tees in to the accumulator. So as the motor is running, it builds oil, it builds pressure in this tank, and it puts oil in this tank. And then it's going to have a shutoff valve here that the driver can shut off the oil flow to the tank from inside the car. So when when he's about to shut the car off, he just closes this. This will retain the oil. And then when he wants to go start the car again, that's all he has to do is open that up, and this will prime the engine with a couple of liters of oil and some pressure. And then I can also pressurize it here with just an air chuck, like just with an air hose, put some pressure in the tank, and then it's got a gauge there that shows how much pressure is in there. Because of the dry sump system, it needs to be primed. Every time you fire the car up, you know, first thing in the day, after the car has been running, it's not a big deal. The system's full of oil, and it'll build pressure, no problem. But first startup is hard on these things because the oil pump has maybe some air in it or whatever, and it doesn't give the engine oil pressure right away. So rather than spinning the pump down there on that pulley, which see I have the belt off now, and priming the system, this is what I've got in there so that we don't have to do that every day when we want to go racing. This will just, you know, it'll be pressurized and ready to go after every event. So it basically just jump in the thing, pull the lever, start it up, and you're good for the day. So I got that done. The EGTs I got installed on the other side, but this side I still got to put them in. Oil tank is in, hoses are done, oil tank's full of oil. And then I got the new tires installed. I didn't put air in them because I can't get them up in the car when they're full of air. I got to kind of collapse them a little bit to get them up in the car, but the new tires are on. So now I'm just waiting for that rear drive shaft speed sensor before I can put the wheels back up in there. But I put my laptop up to this ignition box here, this Digital 7, and I could not get it to communicate. I tried 3 different cables. No cable came with the car, so I went to the local Source electronic shop and got some cables and tried 3 different ones, and I could not get that thing to communicate. So the owner was here yesterday while I was trying to get this thing to communicate with my laptop, and I told him, you know what, this system is old. It's got the nitrous oxide controller here. This stuff is old. RPM activated switch, you know, with the chips and the dials, and I mean, this stuff was probably new when the car was built 10 years ago, but it needs to be upgraded. And so he agreed. So we're going to put an MSD grid in here. We're going to get rid of this nitrous controller, the RPM switch, the dials for the starting line, clean this all up in here. The nitrous wiring I'm going to take out. I'm going to redo that when we decide to put nitrous in it. All the switch panel stuff, I mean, the switch panel is, it's kind of old too, you know, a couple of the switches, you know, a little bit loose, but I think it'll work. So I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to keep that wiring and just find out, you know, where everything goes down there and where everything goes out into the, you know, the fans and the water pump and things like that. So I'll maintain that, and I'm just going to change out that ignition box, get rid of this, and then you know, tie everything into the delay box and clean this all up here. So that should be here today, actually. So right now I'm just going to start taking things out here and start unplugging things. Maybe I'll take that whole panel out and just clean it up, and you know, it's got all this Velcro stuff on there, and I'll clean it all up, make it look nice and make it more functional so that I can just hook the laptop in it, program whatever we need in there. The shift, like, I mean, the grid controls the shifter, it controls everything, so it's really simple. I just put the laptop on it, plug it in, tell it what I want it to do, and the car just does it. So, and then I'm not sure if this is the old style data logger. It's the V300, not the SD. So I don't know if this thing will tie in with the MSD grid. I know the V300 SD with the that's got the SD card in it that I installed in my customer's Roadrunner. That one ties directly in to the MSD grid, so that we can get information from both. You know, if the timing is out or whatever, we can, you know, see the tire spin and things like that. We can see everything on the race pack that we can see on the MSD. They're kind of tied together, so I don't know if this one's capable of doing that. I'll find out once I get all these cables out and get the instructions out and stuff. But for now, I'm going to get started on taking this stuff out of here.